Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for March 6, 2022. So, I'm first going to, really quick before we get to the books that I did read this week, I think I'm just going to be completely honest here and say that my TBR is not working for me in the fact that I had such good plans for March of the Mammoths, and I had, like, all year I knew what I was going to read, and I just can't do it right now. As you know, in the last couple months, it's been very stressful at work with having our company bought out, and then I had to change positions because my position went away, so I took over, or they have a different kind of position that I took over, and that caused a lot of stress and stuff with other coworkers. And then, so I'm still working on that, and every week is still very stressful of what I need to do to get that all together, the area that I work in now, because pretty much I had to reorganize the whole parts room, and it's just been very, very stressful. And again, I did get to go do some more training last week. I stayed with my parents for a couple nights because they're close to that facility. So that was great, and that was all great. But it was, because it was the end of February last week, going into, and the first was the second, the Tuesday of that week. And I realized very, very quickly that I was not going to be able to do my TBR the way I had planned for March. I think I just have to come to the realization that right now, planning anything is a bad idea. I cannot plan my reading right now. I have been binging a certain series, the Pride series, as you guys know, for the last couple weeks, and I'm going to continue doing that because I still have several books left in that series. But that is the only thing that is calling to me right now. I mean, I have so many books. I've bought so many books. Wait till you see my book haul in February. But because of things that happened when I had the dreaded virus, onto this whole stress with all the work stuff, I am not going to be able to participate the way I wanted to in March of the Mammoths. There is still hope that I will pick up March Mystery Madness books. I'm hoping to pick up at least 1 or 2 mysteries near middle of the month to end of the month, but we'll see. It just depends on how my reading is going. As I said, right now, I am fully mood reading, and the series that I'm binging is just calling to me to finish. And I just want to work on that. So I am making the decision not to read Les Miserables by Victor Hugo this year. Maybe later in the year I will find a way to do this, but this is not the March for me to read this. I am very disappointed because I have been, all year, I said this is the book I was going to read. I'm going to read this in March. And even as I said that, all the way up until the first, when I actually picked it up, and I read the first couple chapters, and I mean, I only read 20 pages. I was supposed to read 40 that day, but I was in training, and then I came home, and the cats were upset, and you know how it is when you're gone a couple days for your pets. So I only read a couple chapters, and I think I will get along with it once because I have read several other of his books, but I just cannot focus on this right now. My brain is not in that place. So I don't want to ruin my experience for this. I've had this book 19 years on my shelf. So what I want to commit to is that I need to read this by the end of next, or have it at least fully started by next March. So that'll be 20 years since I bought this book. I mean, I can't remember what month I bought it in. My receipt is so light, I can't tell. But I'll have to look into that. But I don't, oh, it looks like it might be February of that year. Anyway, point is that I cannot, I'm not going to force myself to read a Mammoth that I just cannot focus on. I want to have the experience, this experience much more than I can give it right now. So I think what I'm going to do is put it back on my shelf. It's still marked up to do it for a month if I do come back to it, but right now is not the month. So maybe later this year I will want to read this. I still want to read this book so bad. Like, I mean, it's not like, this book has just been one of the oldest books on my TBR, but it's also a book I've really always wanted to read, but right now is not that time. And I'm not going to force myself to read stuff that I don't want to. I can't do that right now. Right now I am so stressed with other parts of my life and things going on in the world and things I've had to deal with just personally and you know, not just at work. So the thing is, there's just so much going on that I'm not going to force myself to read this Mammoth. So I'm very disappointed that I'm putting this aside, but I'm glad I made the decision early on and not tried to force myself, because I think that would have just gone worse and worse for me. So again, I said I only read two chapters and then I kind of stopped. So anyway, so it's going to go back on my shelf. Hopefully I will pick it up within this next year, or it be my March of the Mammoths next year, but I just can't do it right now. I even thought about getting it on audio and trying it that way, but I'm not listening to audiobooks very much right now, which I'll explain when I get to another book that I am reading, sort of. I just don't want to put that pressure on me. So that one is just, it's not that I'm not participating in March of the Mammoths, I'm just not going to read the primary book that I planned on for the last year to read. This book just, I have a curse against it, because again, I was supposed to read it in March of the Mammoths 2 years ago, as the pandemic began. So I have to find a time to read this, which is not a stressful time for me, and it just hasn't happened. So that's kind of what I want to say. As I said, I do want to read some of the stuff that is on my TBR, but really right now I'm just enjoying what I'm reading, and I'm just going to keep reading that until I decide to finish the series or I move on to other things. I do have some mysteries I would love to get to that are for my March Mystery Madness TBR. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to pick those up, or if I'm just going to continue reading lighter stuff right now, because right now that's the paranormal romance series that I'm reading is just calling to me. It's funny, it's light, and I'm just enjoying myself. So anyway, so that's kind of, so I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with April at this point of TBRs or not. I have been contemplating doing a rereading month, like reread April or something. I don't know, but because a lot of times April's like my worst reading month of the year. Usually, it almost always is for some reason, and I don't know why that is, but it's been like that historically for most of my life. I don't know what it is about April. I don't know if it's because it's spring and so I get hay fever and stuff like that. I don't know, but I don't concentrate very well. So I was trying to figure out ways to deal with April. So I might not do, I'm not sure. I might not do a TBR for that month. I might just continue my mood reading. Right now, it's just mood reading central. So we're just going to roll with it. So I do have some books that I still want to read this month, as I said, but it's just, I'm not sure what I'm going to pick up. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up, and I just wanted to spend the time to tell you that. Maybe I was following Kim from middle of the book March, doing her confessions, but I really came to this decision late this last week, and I have to do what's best for my reading and my mental health. And right now, starting Les Mis would be a bad idea. So we'll see what happens. So again, I have no idea what I'll be picking up. I mean, right now, I'm pretty sure what I'm going to pick up for this next week. So let's get into the books that I did read. The books that I finished, and yeah, books that I read, what I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm going to read in the next week. So, as I said, I am reading through the Pride series by Shelley Launston, and this was book, is this 4? Oh no, I've lost count. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, yeah, no, this is 5. So I'm book 5. Beast Behaving Badly. This was one of my favorites of the series so far. Again, it has another bear shifter, but he's kind of crossed with lions, and then she is a wolf crossed with a wild dog, I think. And this is one of the funniest ones, because again, these are funny paranormal romances. They take place mostly in New York City with different prides and different groups. Bo, he is a pro hockey player in the Shifter League. So again, this is all not, most people don't know about the Shifters, of course. And he's like the marauder, and he pretty much is like that. That's all he cares about is hockey and being the best. And he is the best, but everybody hates him. And then Blaine is like the sweetest, just goofiest girl ever. But I liked their dynamic. And again, these are characters that we've met through the books before this, and also in the series, the Honey Badger series, which is a later a series to this one, which is why I went back to this one to read these ones that connect up to that one, because there were characters that were crossing that I didn't realize, and now I'm getting their stories. So I've really enjoyed that. Anyway, so this was one of my favorites of the series. They were just funny. I liked the storyline and how there was there was a mystery in this one, with them, somebody trying to get Blaine. And, you know, it was funny. And these are just funny things, books. And so, again, I really enjoyed this one. This is one of my, of the top 2 of the ones that I've really enjoyed. And then I followed up with Big Bad Beast, which follows 2 shifter wolves. And one's like major, she's gun-ho killer kind of thing, very off-putting to most people. And then kind of a rich playboy, but he is like an excellent cook. He works, his family runs restaurants, and so he was brought up to be a chef kind of thing. But he's also like, so he's rich because of that, and then he's also involved in some other things and how they're connected. She works for an organization that he partially runs. So it's just, and then again, it has its teeny mystery, not as much in this one as some of the other ones, but there's still something going on, and they're trying to solve the mystery. And then it's just, again, these are mostly, though, that's so light. It's mostly, you know, these are mostly romance books, but with the paranormal romance. And again, they are funny. These people are crazy. You would never want to meet these people in real life. Like, you just have to take it with a grain of salt that they're like different. But they're so much fun. So those are the ones I finished. I finished those 2 because, again, this week I had training, so I didn't read quite as much this week. And again, I had my little crisis over the Mammoths, but oh well, whatever. So I'm almost done with Bear Meets Girl by Shelley Lawrence. This is book 7. Did I say? Yeah. 5, 6, 7. So this is 7. So this one I'm really enjoying as well. This is another bear shifter one, which is, they're mostly my favorites. A polar bear and a tiger, Siberian tiger shifter. And so she's crazy and he's a cop, and he's like so straight arrow kind of thing. And she is just off the wall. It was really fun. This one's been a good one. I mean, I'm 50 pages from the end. I'm going to finish it this morning, hopefully, or sometime today anyway. Really enjoyed this one. So again, it just continues the series. Like this one has, again, this one has, again, there's a mystery that's kind of involved, and someone's after Crush, and he's, or Crush Check is his last name, and they call him Crush when they're friends. And then Celia is, she's a pro. She's also on the hockey team, the shifter hockey team, and but she also works for another organization that's brutal. It's hard to explain these. I guess I'm not doing a very good job. Anyway, I've really enjoyed this one as well. So I have, as I said, 50 pages. So I'm going to finish that today. So that's book 7. And then I didn't pick up Dreams of Trespass, Tales of a Harem Girlhood by Fatima Miranisi this week that much. I meant to, but because of training, I just forgot it and I didn't get to it. So anyway, I'm still only 75 pages in, but I'd like to get to this memoir about a woman in her, she growing up in Morocco, and showing her, the harem that she was brought up in, and then also her grandfather's harem, which was very different. It's so interesting. Like, it was different. It's just so different. And again, it starts in the 40s during World War II, because she was born in 40, and so we see kind of like the aftermath of different powers being in charge of Morocco and stuff. And it's been very interesting. I just want to finish this book. I just put it down. The chapters are pretty short, so I will try again to read a chapter or 2 a day to try to get some progress. I didn't pick it up this week, but I'm hoping this week. I still want to get this nonfiction done. And then my mammoth I am technically continuing right now is Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. Again, this was kind of a accidental, was the mammoth pick because my audiobook came in through the library. I'm only 80 pages in, so I'm not very far of this 858 page book. But I have the audiobook for at least another, I think another week and a half or two. Not too long, but I didn't listen to the audiobook much this week. I meant to listen to it more. I'm not in an audiobook mood right now. But I'm hoping to read, maybe this week I can get a little bit more done and before it disappears. And then I'll have to read it physically. So maybe by the end of the month, I'll be reading this physically to get this done. I do want to read this. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm not in love with it yet. The characters are interesting. And I just don't know where it's going because it's still really early days for this gigantic book. So we'll see what happens. I do like the characters, like Gus and Kyle and I can't remember the kid's name, and you know, like there's some interesting characters in here, but I'm just not sure how it's gonna go because I don't remember. I watched the miniseries maybe not when it came out, but in reruns or whatever. But I don't remember a whole lot about it. I don't recall it too much. But again, it would be one thing I'd probably want to go back and watch after I finish this. So anyway, I've not made a whole lot of progress in this, but this is the Mammoth that I'm continuing because I've already gotten 80 pages in, and I'm going to try to get a little bit farther. If I don't finish this in March, I won't be surprised because the way my reading has been going. Just overall, I'm in the middle of so many books that I've put aside. I can't read them right now. I'm hoping that in a couple months I'll be able to go back to all the books that I've partially read and finish them because they're not full DNFs. They're all very soft, I just put it down for now. So I don't want to do that with this one right now, but I'm hoping to make some progress this week and then hopefully, again, I said I don't think I'll get it done by the end of March, but I'm hoping to at least get some done of this. So we'll see. But anyway, I do have one Mammoth still in play. Even though it was of the three, it was the lowest ranked of what I wanted to get to, but unfortunately that's the one I'm reading, but we'll just go with that. So anyway, and then what I'm going to read this next week, of course, is finishing off the Pride series. That is my main goal. I should start later today, number 8, Wolf with Benefits, by Shirley Larson. So this one is going to be, I think it's a jackal and a wolf. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm kind of curious about this one. And then the last one, I didn't look to see what this one was. Oh, this one has a honey badger in it. Oh, I don't remember her. And I don't know what he is. What he is. He must be a tiger, but I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, I'm really looking forward to this one. This is the one I haven't looked at to see who is in the back. I try not to look ahead until I'm almost near the end of the book before. But I'm really excited because I do want to reread the Honey Badger series, which comes after this, which is connected but not. It's another series. But we'll see. I might be actually going back after I finish these two to the series that came before these, which I didn't know about until after I was already deep into this one, called the Magnus Pack. And then, so I might go back and read those 3 novels, 2 novellas for that one, and then reread. This is my big plans for the whole year. I'm not thinking I'm going to do all this next month. I just meant, but I might like continue. So I finish up everything in Shelley Lawrence's series that I have, because now I own them all, because of course I bought them all, that I didn't own. And then I want to reread, as I said, I want to reread the Honey Badgers so I can read the last book that just came out last year, which I've been meaning to read, but I felt like I needed to go back and read all the books that had all the characters that they mentioned, but I didn't know where they came from. And now I'm finding out where they came from. So anyway, this is pretty much where my mind is like letting me read right now. I have so many books that I brought into my house this last month, and I have so many books on my shelves that I already want to read, but I just have to let myself just read what it wants to read right now. And again, I'm really amped to finish this series, at least the Pride series, and then maybe I'll read something else next week after I finish these, and then maybe come back to do the series, to do the Magnus Pack books later. I'm not sure, but if I continue, if I decide that, no, this is what I want to continue in this series, I'll just keep reading Shelley Lawrenston, and then it might just be Shelley Lawrenston year, because again, I finished 6 books of hers. One was a reread, but I've read 6 total. I'm almost done with 7, and then I got 8 and 9 left of this. We'll see what happens. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on. I just and what I'm planning to do. How do you guys feel about making those kind of decisions with your reading, that that you've had all these plans and then decide that you just can't? Again, I've worked as a planner schedule for decades. My brain just wants to plan everything, and I keep looking at my shelves going, oh, I want to read that next, and I know I won't read that next because I'm not feeling up to that, or I have like 5 things I want to read at once, and I know I can't do that either now. Right now, I'm trying to lower down how many books I have technically on the go. I mean, I only showed you 3 that I'm technically reading right now, but really I have 11 books that are on my currently reading. But I'm not reading all those because I don't feel like it. So I don't know. Again, I feel like I had to make this decision about March of the Mammoths. I mean, I still have a March of the Mammoths, so it's not like I'm not participating in that. And I still hope to get to some real mysteries, although my paranormals, they have a slight mystery in all of them. I can count those. I don't know if they go by the 2x2, you know, for the March Mystery Madness, but, you know, whatever. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. If you guys have any advice for that, because again, I'm just really stressed out. I'm just letting myself mood read. I'm also letting myself buy way too many books, so I need to stop that. I'm run out of space pretty much. I have to, I'm going to do a cull earlier than I normally do. I usually do that just in December and June, but I think this March I'm going to have to do a cull. I bought way too many books in February, which you'll see this week when I post my book haul video. So anyway, that's it. I hope your guys' reading is going way better than mine. Even if we're not reading what we say we're going to, we're still, as long as we're reading and enjoying it, or if it's not that, you know, not the time to read, then that's fine too. I am really glad that I'm reading a lot. Like, I am reading a lot of pages for me, but these are just fun, light books that I'm just glad that I'm getting to and just enjoying myself. So I'm just going to go with that. And this just might not be the year for planning anything for my reading. We will see, because there's things I really want to read, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So anyway, that's it. I'm done waffling and rambling. So anyway, let me know how you guys are doing, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.